Hey guys, and welcome to this fourth episode of Seriously Thick Synth Sounds. Today we're going to do it a little bit differently because I want to get you guys' opinion on how I should do this. Okay, so this episode I won't build the patch from scratch, but I'll just show the song in context and show you how I built it. I mean the patch, not the song, of course. And then in the comments I would like you guys to let me know whether you prefer the method of me building the patch from scratch or just showing you how I built it in the song and then giving some tips on how I used it. So yeah, let's get started. Today's episode is on a rolling drum and bass, and it's from one of my newer tracks called Hidden Knowledge. And the bass I'm talking about should be located right here. This bass consists of two parts. First of all, this part. And then also this. And a sub, which you probably won't hear. Yeah, it's there, but it's really quiet. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. First off, the core of the patch is this Thor right here. And let me just solo that and turn the loop on. Okay. So as you can see here, all this is three oscillators with no settings to the left here applied. And it's two analog oscillators that have a saw and a square. And then there's another square that's a bit higher, and I'm modulating the pulse width with this first LFO. I'm just going to take these effects off here and show you how it sounds without them. And then to get this moving sound, I just went source LFO and then destination oscillator 3 pulse width. And that only works if you are using the square wave, of course. So without and with. So that gives it some really nice movement. Yeah, I didn't really change anything else in the patch. It's initialized. I opened up the filter all the way, of course, turned the filter envelope down and gave it full sustain. Yeah, and that's it. Nothing much here. This LFO1 to CV out 1 will be covered later. Okay, I then added a vocoder, and I'm using this vocoder in equalizer mode, and I'm using this because I don't know why, but the vocoder changes the sound even if you don't change any bands or the shift. It's weird, but yeah, this is the frequency band level adjust window thing. Basically, it's an 8-band EQ, and I've kind of EQ'd out the mids, boosted the high end a little bit, got rid of some low end here, and also this, like, I don't know what level this is, but it sounded good to me. So I kind of used that. And then also I used this shift knob and shifted the sound upwards. So if I shift this while you guys can listen to this sound. Yeah, it's changing the performance, so that's really nice and gives it some high crispness. Then I added a Scream 4, just some regular tube distortion, which gives it the really characteristic sound. And that's also due to the body section. But first of all, let's just focus on the distortion. So I turned all these sections on the right off, and now you can see the distortion. So yeah, just regular tube, it grittens up the sound. Boosted the low end a bit with this EQ. Barely audible, but it's there. And then, if I flip the rack around, you'll see that I connected the CV1 output to the body scale. And then I also routed the LFO to modulate the CV out 1. So that means I can modulate this scale knob right here on the Scream 4 with the LFO 1 rate. And that means we can get a really nice effect. Just to demonstrate, I'll turn this off and then I'll move the slider by hand. I could of course also do automation, but it's easier to just hook it up to the LFO which also gives you the possibility to change the LFO rate, and that way the sound won't change, but the speed will. So if you change the rate, it will change the rate of this modulation of the scream down here, and then also the modulation of the pulse width over here in this oscillator. But I like 3/16, so yeah. And then I kind of gave that some, just some distortion. I don't know what this algorithm does, but I guess it's some sort of different overdrive. Makes it more gritty. And then I added some reverb. See, this is why I'm saying it's easier for me to just show you how I made the patch, because all of you guys can add some regular plate reverb. You don't have to sit through this process of me creating and tweaking the settings of this reverb, you know. And then I also EQ'd out a couple of frequencies that were kind of not matching with other frequencies in the mix. This, of course, is optional, and of course you also have to adjust it to your mix, but yeah. This is my equalizer curve, and then I also rolled off all the low end because I added a sub bass. The sub bass is right here. This though is really all it is. It's just two sine waves layered on top of each other, one higher than the other. And hold on, let me solo that one. Actually, I should shift them up an octave. This would be much more appropriate, but I guess I kind of forgot to fix that before I rendered the track, and now I can't change it, so whatever. And then, as a last addition to this thing, I added this, which is basically just a single square wave with a completely open filter, tiny bit, 0.6 dB gain at 800 Hertz, so it doesn't really matter. But it just kind of fills out the spots where the LFO goes down. And fattens it up, because without it, when you drop the entire track, it will sound different. It's kind of needed to fill out the 200, 300, 400 Hertz area. And that's how I built this rolling bass. It's quite a simple patch. And again, please let me know in the comments whether you prefer this method or whether you prefer the method of me building synths from scratch. I can certainly say I prefer this method because, for example, recreating all these frequency bands would take me about 2 or 3 minutes, which would just be annoying towards you guys because, you know, you want compact information without, having to sit through a 20-minute tutorial and watching a guy tweaking this kind of stuff to perfection. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And thanks for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It really helps me out. And thanks for watching. Dorian Code out.